Now at 7 o'clock on WKYT this morning, we're learning more about the 5 Dallas police officers killed in what police are calling an ambush-style attack. Back here in Kentucky, we're following breaking news this morning. Lexington police are searching for a car involved in a hit and run that may be connected to a burglary. We're live with the latest details just ahead. And police now say a missing northern Kentucky couple was murdered. The latest details on that case ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Sean Moody. Michelle Chamberlain has the morning off. After a stretch of nasty weather, we finally got a beautiful looking morning out there. Mike Linden is standing by with a look at how your Saturday is shaping up.
You've got to love it, Sean. Just look at the live sky camera here in Lexington, looking off toward Clark County with a beautiful sunrise over the bluegrass. The cloud cover is there. It's thin, and it's certainly not bringing us any active weather as we get our Saturday morning started. We look at the Defender radar network, and we're really not seeing much of anything active across the bluegrass state. Today is the day that you've been waiting for as far as the conditions and temperatures both getting along, because we are finally looking at things clearing up as we head into the afternoon today. Now, that cold front that pushed us in the active weather yesterday is now moving away from us, and that is going to usher in drier conditions for today and for tomorrow. So coming up, I'll break down what looks to be a much calmer, a much quieter weekend to spend some time outside, but you've got to get that time in while you can, because I'm also tracking the return of active weather. I'll show you when, coming up.
Mike, thank you. We're following breaking news here in Lexington. Police are searching for a vehicle involved in a hit and run. A homeowner tells us his wife was hit by that car. We're working to get all the details on that story this morning. WKYT's Victor Puente joins us live with the latest. Good morning, Victor.
A woman has been taken to the hospital after she was hit by an SUV. Her husband tells me that happened while he was holding a burglar on the ground at gunpoint. He says they woke up to the sound of a brick being thrown through their back window early this morning. When they went downstairs, they discovered a laptop and his wife's purse was missing. He says that thief then started to pull away in their vehicle. He ran outside with a shotgun, telling the man to stop. He said he got the man out on the ground and was holding him at gunpoint when another man drove up in a white SUV and hit him and his wife with that vehicle. He said she's expected to be okay. The police are now searching for those 2 men.
Another guy comes through the yard with a vehicle and hits my wife, and she hits her so hard she hits her head on the truck parked in the driveway, and the other guy, they hit me on the side. I drop my gun, the guy jumps in the car with the other guy, and they take off.
Now, police were searching for that vehicle, but they say since then those 2 men have ditched it near Winburn and they took off on foot. A Lexington police helicopter is now circling that area looking for both of them. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. Of course, we'll stay on top of that story and bring you more information on that search as we get it. We move now to news out of Dallas, Texas. We're learning more about the gunman who killed 5 police officers. Police originally thought there may have been more than one shooter, but now they say 25-year-old Micah Xavier Johnson acted alone. The former U.S. Army reservist injured 6 people and killed 5 police officers, and we're also learning more about those victims this morning.
Brent Thompson was a Dallas area rapid transit officer. 43 years old, he joined the agency in 2009. Thompson was a newlywed, married just 2 weeks ago to a fellow transit officer. Dart's police chief tells CNN, quote, he was in great spirits.
Great police officer, servant to the people of Dallas as well as to our customers and that use our system, great family man. And we are deeply saddened by his loss.
Dallas police officer Patrick Zamaripa was 32 and a father of 2. Military records show he was a U.S. Navy veteran who served 3 tours during the Iraq War. On the news, his brother shared this photo on Twitter, saying, quote, love you, brother. Couldn't be prouder. We'll see you again. Hashtag pray for Dallas. Michael Kroll, 40, was a Michigan native, living out his dream to serve the public as an officer of the law.
He wanted to make everything better. He wanted to do, want to make things right, was really committed, It was probably the most frustrating thing for him. He couldn't solve it all.
According to local media reports, the other two victims are Senior Corporal Lauren Ahrens, who served in the Dallas Police Department for 14 years, and veteran officer Michael Smith. He was 55, a father of two from Port Arthur, Texas, who also served in the military as an Army Ranger.
Here in Kentucky, Georgetown police say they've received an outpouring of support as officers grieve with their brothers and sisters in Dallas. People and organizations in the area have brought them food, water, and other items. Chief Mike Bosse says they appreciate those acts of kindness. He says what the country needs right now is healing.
I think it's important that all of our leaders keep that in mind. The divisive language that so many of our leaders are taking brings about this kind of tragedy. Our discussions should be about opportunities to understand and teach, not second guessing.
Chief Bosse called the acts of violence in Dallas a tragedy on many levels. Danville Police Chief Tony Gray posted an emotional statement on Facebook. It's been getting a lot of comments. After the Dallas attack, Chief Gray said, quote, "No one should be killed for being black, and no one should be killed for wearing blue. Pray for peace."
It's kind of hard to believe that all the improvements in the technology and where we are in the country and how far we come, that it seems that sometimes that we're, going backwards, or some people are going backwards.
Chief Gray says he's reached out to fellow police officers who he knows in Texas to see if there's anything Danville police can do to help there in Dallas. Keep checking WKYT.com for the latest on the Dallas attack. We'll also have updates on the investigation on the WKYT News app. In other news this morning, police now say a missing Northern Kentucky couple was murdered, and they've made an arrest in that case. Kentucky State Police have charged Craig Pennington with 2 counts of murder. Police found the couple's car abandoned in Georgetown, but so far there's no sign of Robert Jones and Crystal Warner. Police tell us the two were last seen leaving a home that they rented on Texas Road in Springfield. Now, a family member tells WKYT that Craig Pennington rented that home to the couple. State police said they do have evidence that the couple is dead, but their bodies have not been recovered, and their families just want them found.
So after all this processes, then we will start searching, because their bodies are somewhere, and there'll never be closure. This is life now until those bodies are found.
Craig Pennington's being held at the Marion County Detention Center. He's scheduled to be in court on Monday. Some people in Wayne County are cleaning up damage caused by a storm. Strong winds damaged 3 businesses in Monticello. That includes this building here. That's Patriot Industries. You can see that storm just peeled part of the roof right off the building. Some workers were inside at the time. None of them were hurt.
It's very minimal damage compared to what it could have been. We've lost just a little piece of our roof. Some, inside, no equipment was damaged, anything like that. We got everything moved in time before the rain damaged it.
Patriot Industries reopened after the storm. Managers say most of the 70 employees were working. It is 7:08 now on your Saturday morning, and there's still plenty ahead here on WKYT this morning. There might be a new top dog at the box office. We'll find out who's heading toward that #1 spot ahead on WKYT this morning.
Well, if the active weather had you stuck inside all week long, it looks like you'll finally have the chance to get outside and enjoy, because this weekend is shaping up to be great. I'll show you why coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
After an action-packed work week, we are talking about severe storms, flooding, lightning, strong winds. We saw it all. But now things are much calmer into the weekend, and quieter, and feeling a lot better. We look at the Defender Radar Network. Quite different from what we saw all week long when we saw the reds, the oranges, the lightning strikes. Not much of that going on as we get our Saturday morning, to say the least. We take a wider look at what's going on, and we have this massive cold front that was the final push of that active weather yesterday afternoon. Well, that has now worked its way through Kentucky and is now moving away from us. You look behind that cold front, and it looks a lot better. Drier air coming in from the north things are just really shaping up to be exactly what the doctor ordered. We look at the live sky camera, a beautiful sunrise over Lexington this morning. The cloud cover will be there, but it's not nearly going to be as thick as it has been over the past few days. We look at your temperatures, the lower 70s and upper 60s. Wonderful. If you're thinking about getting your early morning started now and getting outside, well, these are some very comfortable early morning summer temperatures, right around where you'd expect to be normally this time of year here in the middle of July. We look at your hour-by-hour forecast, and as we get into the afternoon today, those temperatures return to the normal mid to low 80s range. The skies will be partly cloudy, and the clouds are going to really dictate where our temperatures go today. If you see the clouds, well, things might be a little bit cooler than normal. If you don't, the opposite. We'll see things get above that mid-80 range. But this is what we're looking at. As we work our way through the morning hours, those temperatures go from the low 70s and shoot right on into the mid to low 80s. But notice, with those clouds set up over Lexington and northward, temperatures settle into that mid to low 80s range. You look at central and southern Kentucky, most spots a little bit warmer than that. Wayne County, Pulaski County, 85 or so degrees. So regardless, we'll be right on the money for where normal should be for this time of year. And Sunday looks the same as well. Some deja vu. Most temperatures then settling into the mid to low 80s at that point. That's right where we should be normally for this time of day, or for this time of year rather. So if you're thinking about going outside, if you had to cancel your outdoor plans earlier in the week, today is your makeup day. Whether it's grilling out, taking a swim in the pool, or just getting outside in general, today is the day to do so. I'd probably hold off on mowing the lawn. Things are still wet. But you will have the opportunity Sunday and potentially into Monday, because it's at this point on Monday that things get a little tricky, because that's when we start to see that warm Gulf of Mexico air begin to bubble up from the south and bring us the storm chances again. That returns Monday as we head into Tuesday. But at least for your Saturday and for your Sunday, we are looking at some fantastic weather out there. Temperatures right around normal, not to mention the sunshine. You really won't be dealing with any active weather threats out there today. So if you're heading to Lake Cumberland to get out on the water, or if you're simply just staying home and want to read a book outside, Sean, really whatever you'd like to do outside today, it's all systems go.
I think we deserve it after that stretch.
Gosh, I mean, you're talking about severe storms. We had tornadoes. We had strong winds, flash flooding. I mean, anything you think you could find in the summer, we saw in just a couple of days. So we definitely need a break.
Yeah, y'all in the weather department is going to kick back and relax for a couple of days. Looks like Finding Dory is about to be dethroned as the box office champ by another animated family movie about pets.
David Daniel takes a look at how this weekend's new movies are expected to fare.
Hey there, cute little bunny.
Brace yourself for a new #1 movie. The Secret Life of Pets from the folks behind Despicable Me and Minions is getting great buzz, strong reviews, and a massive marketing push. Analysts expect an opening weekend of at least $70 million, similar to another original animated animal pick, Zootopia.
I'm here with Mike and Dave Stengel. They are looking for dates for their sister's wedding in Hawaii.
Let's make these guys take us to Hawaii.
We're looking for nice girls.
We're gonna look respectable as f.
The forecast isn't as rosy for the weekend's other new wide release, Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Zac Efron and Adam Devine play a pair of party guys who more than meet their matches in Anna Kendrick and Aubrey Plaza. Box office watchers figure the raunchy rom-com to debut around $15 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now, Sean, any of those movies pique your interest?
Yeah, definitely. The Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates looks hilarious.
I'm with you. That movie does look funny. And then The Secret Life of Pets, I mean,
yeah,
that's a great idea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because
like
you know
Toy
they're always
Story.
up to something.
Yeah, it's like Toy Story, but for your pets. That'll do well.
Exactly. 7:16 now on your Saturday morning, and when we come back, we're following concern across the country after the attacks in Dallas. Many officers are now on guard. That's ahead on WKYT this morning. Welcome back. 7:19 on your Saturday morning. The attack on police in Dallas is causing concern across the country. Officers in other states have been targeted and shot. Now police are rethinking security plans for some upcoming events. Jerika Duncan has more.
Authorities believe a man in Tennessee shot and wounded a police officer Thursday morning because he was, quote, troubled by recent incidents involving police and blacks. Officers have also been targeted in Georgia and Missouri since 2 black men were shot and killed by white officers this week. And a law enforcement official tells CBS News that social media threats towards police have been on the rise since the shootings in Dallas. Taking defensive measures, departments in several major cities, including New York, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Boston, Washington, and Vegas, are mandating officers patrol in pairs. Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson urged communities and officers to come together.
Violence is never the answer. Violence directed at our police officers is never the answer. Violence directed at police officers endangers them, and it endangers the very public they are sworn to protect.
Philadelphia Police Commissioner Richard Ross oversees the country's 4th largest police department. He says what happened in Dallas should be a turning point.
Do things get better from here?
I got to believe that they will. But I know it takes work. It will take effort. It's not going to happen just by chance. Law enforcement will have to be very intentional about how it works and connects with its communities, but communities have to be willing to do the same as well. Until we do that, we're never going to get where we need to be.
There are no credible threats in Philadelphia, but because of those shootings in Dallas, security plans for the Democratic National Convention just a couple of weeks away are now under review. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, Philadelphia.
All right, 7:21 now on your Saturday. There's still more to come this morning. Sports is next.
Tonight, the Quaker State 400 from Sparta, Kentucky. How will the drivers handle the brand new surface? Also, NBA Summer League. Jamal Murray gets his first action, and Andrew Harrison has a good night. The details next.
Active weather is done, and it looks like we have a beautiful day ahead of us. Coming up, I'll take you through your Saturday and show you how good things look. After an active week of weather, we're talking severe storms, flooding, lightning, high winds. We saw it all. Now here on Saturday morning, this is what we're seeing, and it's looking pretty good. Sunny skies out there. Wonderful as we get our morning started, and it's not just in Lexington, it's across the Bluegrass State. Things are starting off quite nicely. There's some thin cloud cover out there, but there's no active weather. We're not picking up anything on the Defender radar network, nor do we expect to find even very much into our afternoon today, thanks to this big cold front that pushed in the final wave of active weather last night, but that has since dipped to our southeast, and that is making way toward drier, calmer conditions as we head into our afternoon. Temperatures will finally be normal today in the mid to low 80s. So if you didn't get the chance to go outside at any point this week or take a dip in the pool, today is the day to do so. Get out there and enjoy it. Brian Milam is back in Next with Sports.
The Herald Leader first reporting late last night, UK Athletics Director Mitch Barnhart has been given a contract extension. The new deal will run through the year 2022. It's his first amended contract since 2013. Under this new deal, Barnhart will see his $730,000 annual salary increase to $840,000 beginning in 2019. By 2021, Barnhart's salary would increase to $925,000. Because of rain, qualifying was canceled for today's Quaker State 400 at Kentucky Speedway. The pole goes to Kevin Harvick. He's the leader in the owner's points. Harvick says driving around the mile-and-a-half tri-oval is smoother and his body doesn't hurt as much after the race. With the new asphalt, drivers say there's just one racing groove right now, which will present a challenge when trying to pass. But Harvick predicts the new surface the groove will widen, and that will mean exciting racing tonight.
I'm just proud that we were able to come to a racetrack. It's still very edgy, new paves will always be, but when you have racing that is capable of racing side by side, I mean that's a really good sign. So I'm pretty happy about that.
It's a one groove track, so passing is going to be really difficult. It's going to present a lot of challenges as far as trying to get around the track and trying to pass and going into turn 1 and 2 side by side. It's going to be somebody's going to have to make a decision to give up the spot. I don't think you're going to see many guys challenge anybody on the outside there.
Now to basketball. Included in the top talent at this week's Peach Jam is DeAndre Ayton. John Calipari is recruiting the 7-foot power forward out of Phoenix, and Ayton has enjoyed the level of competition this week.
I love it. It's very competitive. It keeps my game flowing and makes me want to get better and better every day.
I was going to say, is this the type of competition you need to take that next step?
Yes, very. It might not be no dudes out there that's has big names, high in the rankings, but they play their heart out and they want to put their name out there, and they will go they go in there with a full head of steam.
And that is a look at sports. Enjoy your weekend.